Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face.
Nancy gonna cut you a check too late. 2 years after your funeral's paid, 2 years after the grave, she'll be a little stronger for all of the dollars she saved. Watching you wake, watching you cling to your family slipping away. Watch her do nothing but pray. Watch her condemn the Republicans, take them to brunch and then shrug it away. Now watch us be outraged half of a day, then pick a new hero to face our leaders and think they can beat them, playing the game they played since Pelosi had real human blood in her veins. They're all one and the same, sold off stocks and they all maintain that the risk was benign and the virus was tame. Flash forward and 40 Sunday mornings fade, 250,000 people and it's wake and the cruise ship sailed today. So motherfucker, don't shine a light in my face. Wait.
Good morning. Sunday morning. Good morning.
Wait.
Sunday morning.
We're 40 Sunday mornings out from normal, and the world is not the same. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never came. Don't shine a light in my face. Said you waited for a warning, but the warning never.
Hello, somebody desperate. Hello, somebody gullible. Hello, anyone left who can swallow the bait who ain't already rocking a stomachful. Maybe they knew and they ate it the same because there's no other way to assure that their stomach's full. Maybe they just know that they love the taste, so they'll put it away by the shovelful. So hello to somebody trying to feed us the light blue shit like it tastes any different or makes any Democrat any less culpable. Hello to someone who couldn't be troubled to mention a march for the healthcare struggle and spent the day cozy with donors who matter, who keep your progressives all wealthy and comfortable. I recommend your protests be anything but peaceable and all your disobedience be decidedly uncivil. You don't need a permit to declare that you have principles, and love, it's only natural that seeing all these fascist assholes stacking up the Capitol would manifest in something loud and passionate and visceral. Keep that in your heart, because it's the only way we'll ever start to flesh out something livable. Maybe that was literal. Maybe our utopia is built from all the sinews of the moderates and liberals, salvaged when they broke their backs with NPR gymnastics, simultaneously hiding from the truth while sticking out their necks for pedophiles, Nazis, and the upper fucking echelon of World War criminals. But baby doll, it's not your fault, it's really all subliminal. They've sown the propaganda into every thread of visuals, grown the propaganda off of truly noisome victuals. Rows of propaganda propagated out of ritual. Straight into your ocular and straight out your occipital, straight up to the point you flip on everything that's pivotal. Any crucial aspect of survival for the working class becomes that holy unicorn you ridicule and snicker at and praise each piece of legislature dancing around the borders of the looking glass. But it's not truly possible to try and stop the suffering of people that you spend each waking moment simply looking past. Walking past a sobbing homeless family like, look at that. Bet they'd be in better shape if they'd have voted Democrat. Hello, somebody ignorant enough to still believe that there's some fundamental difference in the moral stance between the couple barrels that they're staring at. Like one's just got a slug, the other's loaded up with sarin gas. Both of them are pointed at your temple, and they're both equipped to make this breath your final gasp. So hello, somebody dense enough to split the hairs of which one is the kinder executioner with what will be their final task. If you fool me once, it's because I didn't think a guard was needed. If you fool me twice, it's because I didn't learn the lesson, so it bears repeating. If you try the same play 3 times running, it's because you know what's coming, and you didn't come to lead, you came to purposefully be misleading. Democracy is dry, it's been a century bleeding. The husk is gaping open to the sky, out in the field where all the sheep just keep on circling and worrying and bleeding. They're waiting for the shepherd that they've tried to hide their faith in, but he's so appealing. They'd gladly give their fleece, it's such a freeing feeling that even when he leads them to the ledge and starts to urge them on, they're positively beaming. They were told that they were on their way to save democracy, so even as they plummet, they just gloat, they don't consider screaming. And halfway up the cliff, the shepherd's cozy little mittens wrap around the staff of shattered human hopes on which he's leaning. He shows the gentle grin that used to stir your inner spark, and he says, "Not me, us," as he gestures to the oligarchs. He knows that if he runs, they're gonna stop him like a stolen car. And he'll easily surrender because it bought a lot of time for laying mines in all the grassroots. Suddenly, the tiniest of movements gets you blown apart. Suddenly, you're in a play that's set on an election day, and voting for the fire, unaware you're playing Joan of Arc. Suddenly, the shepherd pulls the rug and slips a hood across your clueless mug, and everything goes zero dark. I'm gonna warn you once more before it's 2024 and you fuck around and find out who your heroes are. To take a step back from the herd and you'll learn that you can spot who all the shearers are. If you really want to know the product that they're selling, I can take you where the mirrors are. If you think your voice is finally ready, I can tell you where the lyrics are. I hid them in a box I had to bury neath the cobble when they carpet bombed the promenade and raided all the street bazaars. Now all we've got's the marketplace, and you're too broke to even bother asking what the options for your treatment are. Suddenly, the raw debris of homeless human dignity will find it has 100 teeth for every badge and sweeper's arm. Suddenly, they speak in solidarity and each is armed. Suddenly, the sheep can see the shepherd for his truest form and all pitch in at once to help him buy the farm. And now it's zero dark, and all is calm and peaceful save the distant wail of sirens that approach beside the flames of dawn. Suddenly, the carrot's just a string that's on a stick, and all your movements make you sick because the prize is gone. Now we could go and flee into the forest low and meek, or we can exercise our right to feast and go and graze on Biden's lawn. 'Cause he's been sowing seeds that seep a toxin out to sap a bit from each of us and keep on leaching decades after Biden's gone. So regardless who they summon out of hell to come and do the job, it will not feel like Biden's gone. But in that time of hopelessness, you cannot trust the shepherd when he once again comes asking you to humor him his siren song. And it's cute that you can innocently, honestly assume that's just a symptom of a system that was wired wrong, and not the standard feature, basic function, primary objective of a mass hypnosis firebomb. You don't need to know the words to cry along. Someday it'll hit you like an officer who pistol whipped their ride along. Broke his jaw and kept his job and kept it moving right along. That voting isn't red or blue or black or white or right or wrong. Voting's like a firing squad where you can choose the firearm. It's slow extinction by and large. It's Super Tuesday supercharged. It's all your futures, roots and all, just tossed out on a garbage barge. It's everybody dropping out to push the biggest oligarch. It's everybody voting fire, registered as Joan of Arc.
What did you see?
It couldn't have been me, sir. I was front row in my AOC t-shirt, foie gras sucking on a press release, sir. My head down, fourth shot, good little sheep, sir. Sit down, sweetie. The adults are gonna speak first. They trust the science and they're terrified of research. Here to thank our healthcare heroes, they've been feeding to the burnout, feet first. Until suddenly they dip mid-shift, take a header off a bridge. Such a shame, they were really such a sweet nurse. Now they'll never get the card and the cold slice of pizza meant to thank them for their teamwork. Now they'll never get the baggie full of checks mixed, which would be the one reward they'd see for the moms they had to intubate. And the countless cries of grief since we've been haunted by the specter of the C word. Now all the applause for our healthcare heroes rings a very hollow note because we...
independentleft.news.
Indie.
What's up, Indie?
IndieNews.Network.
Indie.
I get news from Independent Left.
Independentleft.news.
Independentleft.news.
Indie Left Media.
Independent Left News.
Indie Left.
Independent Left News.
Independent Left Media.
Indie Media.
Indie Left.
Indie.
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 Indie Left News.
Indie Left.
Hi, Indie.
Indie Left News.
Subscribe to IndieNews.Network.
We're world building.
Your way of assisting, I feel like, is really cool.
Independentleft.news.
Independent Left News. I'm a huge fan.
He created INN.
The founder of Independent News Network.
Indie is the founder of IndieNews.Network.
Thank you, Independent Left.news.
A huge thank you and shout out to Indie Left.
Everyone, check out Indie Left News.
Hey, Indie Left.
Independentleft.news.
Indie.
Hi, Indie.
Indie Left. Indie Left News.
Indie News.
Independent Media.
Independent Left News has done an amazing job.
All right, Reef did it right. Hey, it all worked. Oh my God, yay! It switched the screens. It turned on the mics. It did everything it was supposed to do. The button worked. Okay, hi everybody.
Isn't that
Holy
nice?
crap! It's Sunday night. I didn't have to do anything. That was really nice. Thank you. Hopefully, I sound pretty good. I still a little hoarse from last week, but pretty good.
Like a mini pony?
Yeah, this is Satan News Network. Sorry. Right, exactly. Ed Heller. So if you were watching last week, check out the clip. It's great. Thank you, Turncoat Don, who put out another banger today. Hysterical. Love him. Follow at Turncoat D on Twitter. So, what's up, dude? You had a crazy week. We had a crazy week.
Yep.
Wait, why is it saying my name now twice on this thing?
Savvy Sabs coming on INN News.
That
I don't know.
Savvy Subs did come on INN News. Name badge Indie.
Yep.
Boom. Turn that off. Okay.
That was
We're
fun. People should go back and check that. INN's almost at 1,000.
INN to 1K. Yes,
Just need
please.
100 more subs.
Share. YouTube.com
even-
/ Indie News Network. Get us to 1K so that we can monetize that channel and start getting some super chats, which would be nice. Of course, you can also go over to the
Yep.
Rockfin right now, rockfin.com / IND Left News, and you can leave us a super ray / tip over there, and we can get that.
Mm-hmm.
We've got some of the family already in the house. Thank you. Appreciate that. Love you. Want to get started. There's a ton to go to do tonight. So, welcome everybody to How Do We Miss That? How Did We Miss That is a show and podcast streaming live on Rockfin, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Facebook, Twitter, Odyssey, Telegram, and on Substack and IndieLeft.news, which I did not turn on, so it's not over there. Sunday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. That's now available on all your favorite podcast platforms too. Hosted by Indie, that's me, founder and editor of Indie Left News, Indie Media Today, and this guy sitting next to me, he's Reef Breland. He is INN's technical director. He is the host of Reefer After Dark and the host and creator of INN News, which you can see every Wednesday night on INN exclusively. We're both founding members of Indie News Network, INN, a collaborative family of independent content creators. Love to the fam. Go follow all of them at IndieNews.Network. You can find all our channels. Normally I say that all the stories were included in Independent Left News this week, and kind of that's true, but we're doing a lot of Twitter stuff this week. So not everything, but we've got some stories that we got to report on. So make sure to share this link, like the stream, subscribe to the channel on all the platforms. We're everywhere. I just said where. We've got our volunteers. We thank everybody for that. We've got them crawling in the stream also, as well as our as well as the donors and patrons and people who support us financially. I did turn on Substack for paid subscriptions this week, so you can go and support us over there. Also, I changed the subdomain on Substack, so it's now indiemediatoday.substack.com. There is no more independentleft.news.substack.com. All the old one will work canonically, but it's now Indie Media Today, and I think that better separates it from Indie Left News. So cool. We got stories. We got 3 stories, and the first one really pisses me off, and I want to get to it real fast. Let's do it. All right. So this is our thumbnail. Shout out, of course, Big Man Crab doing the thumbnail. We're going to talk about the Twitter files, and we're going to talk about what Eliza Bleu is doing on Twitter and with Elon Musk, and for exposing and shutting down child sex exploitation, as CSE, as we're going to refer to it quite often tonight. So we're going to get into the first story tonight. But before we do, and I have to say, last week when we were doing our fun Turncoat Don segment with Joe, I had another slide prepared and I forgot to use it. And Charlie put together, our friend at Charlie ZXI, I believe is her handle on Twitter, put together this awesome, the Putin puppets, because we are all the Putin puppets, a nice holiday playlist for the Putin puppets. So we've got Warring in a Winter Wonderland and Not See It's Cold Outside, and of course the blue and yellow Christmas instead of a white Christmas, and Azov's got run over by a tank deer, and Jolly St. Vladimir silver shells, and Edward the Snowden, like Rudolph, I guess, or let it Snowden. I guess we could have gone that way too.
Snowden.
Let it Snowden, and of course we've got Joe playing the harmonica there, and everybody's got a roll, and Don's playing the drums. I love it. Just so funny. Thank you, Charlie. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So, little levity. Now we got to get to what's really pissing me off, which is the railroad workers, and we're going to stand with the rail workers. Shout out to Sabby Sabs for having them on this week to hear their voices.
Yep.
Also to our friends over at Do Dissidents for having them on as well over the last couple of weeks. Let's take up the railroad workers' fight for paid sick leave. We all need it, right? So this is a hopeful, come on guys, rah rah, but it's a little bit more than that because of this, right? So here's all our workers in Boston. This is Lily Meyerson over at Truth Out. Truth Out's an indie media award-winning outlet. Go follow them. But now we've got, people paying attention to paid sick leave. So, paid sick leave was brought to the forefront of U.S. discourse this past week. Under the imposed deal, workers receive no paid sick days. We know this. 4 unions had already voted against the contract, and then Congress's move comes after massive layoffs undertaken by railroad companies. Railroad bosses, of course, who've taken in $200 million themselves in compensation in 3 years, laid off nearly a third of the workforce of the 7 Class 1 railroads. We've covered this pretty extensively, right? And so, in essence, rail bosses have created this crisis by putting workers under increasing strain while refusing to offer benefits in return, including paid sick days. However, although Senate Democrats failed to push through this last-minute measure to add 7 days of paid sick leave, which we know was just a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, and it was stripped out in order to allow them to try to save face and say that they at least tried to push it through, even though they really didn't and knew it was going to fail. Bernie released a statement saying he was proud of the House-passed legislation, which is okay. Thanks, Bernie.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. At the time of record-breaking profits for the rail industry, it is disgraceful that railroad workers do not have a single day of paid sick leave. Well, yes, he vowed to do everything he can to make sure that rail workers in America are treated with dignity and respect, except for hold up the bill entirely. I could have done that, but no, I'm not going to do that. Okay. Next. On December 1st, Railway Union source told The Intercept that the next phase of the fight, ready for this one? You want to talk shit, Liberty, would be to demand that Biden include rail workers in an upcoming executive order that would mandate 56 hours of paid sick leave for federal contractors. This sounds great. Advocates added that all organizing should go toward that executive order. No.
They had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Right? Oh, dude, that's good. So all organizing should go toward the what? No. The labor disputes over paid sick days have come to this point. Is no surprise, right? Rail unions have been agitating for sick pay for years long in the years-long bargaining process, but throughout the pandemic too, progressive public health experts and advocates have sounded the alarm for increased access to paid sick leave. Pandemic paid sick leave expired in December 2020, leaving the country without a federal paid sick leave program. The U.S. is one of the only high-income countries in the world without paid sick leave. Now advocates say, in light of renewed public attention on the issue due to rail union statements, is the time to make strides towards federal legislation for rail workers and for the millions of U.S. workers, except that there's only one thing. Yes, these policies are absolutely necessary for the workers' economic health and well-being. Yes, I agree, except that there's no incentive for the wealthy to do so, and they're not going to do it. So, Julia Reifman, who is an assistant professor at Boston University School of Public Health, she's tracked states policies to mitigate COVID since the start of the pandemic. She said people who need the most paid sick leave are the least likely to have it. 100% true right there. That is a totally true statement. Can't argue with it. Indeed, work absences due to COVID and other illnesses tend to disproportionately affect Black, Latinx, and low-income workers and women. Of course, they're the ones that had to go to work during the pandemic, of course. In Raffin's prior work with the Urban Institute, she found that when people reported missing work due to COVID-related illnesses or caregiving, they also reported food insufficiency. Well, of course, when you don't have money to earn, you don't have money to go buy food. Yeah, that's how it works. People with low wealth have little flexibility to meet their immediate needs when they miss work due to illness. Paid sick leave, she argued, is thus a policy that helps people avoid a health and an economic hit. It's really important that paid sick leave policies cover low income, self-employed, and part-time workers. Yeah, thanks. So, late last month, she asserted that instead of blocking the rail strike, Congress should focus on expanding paid sick leave by passing the Healthy Families Act, which is H.R. 2465. Well, what's that? Well, it's a piece of proposed
Something
sick
that
day.
probably won't lead to healthy families. I'm betting.
Well,
usually that's how House bills are titled.
Welcome to Congress, right?
Name it the opposite of what it does.
It's opposite bill day. So, H.R. 2465 is a piece of proposed sick day legislation which would require employers with 15 or more employees to provide up to 56 hours of paid sick leave in a year. Yay. It's been introduced in every Congress since 2004. But the bill's currently stalled in the House. Like it always is. It's just one of those things to just put on the books to say for veneer purposes, for platitudes. Discussion of paid sick days is mainly focused on the benefits to workers once they get sick. But sick leave policy is also strongly correlated with preventative health benefits that can keep them from getting sick in the first place. Yes, going to the dentist, going for your annual physicals, all these things. I mean, the company I worked for, they gave you time off and they gave you the hours back, but the rail workers are not getting any of that. Sick workers get to stay home and recover, and they don't risk infecting coworkers. Studies have shown that requiring employers to provide paid sick days reduces the spread of flu and other airborne illnesses, reduces emergency room visits by 1.3 million annually. In what? Globally? I mean, that's a pretty big number, and I'd have to look at the study. But emergency pandemic paid leave helps slow the spread of COVID by roughly 15,000 cases per day. Okay. So she, alongside her colleagues from BU and Drexel, recently found that paid sick leave policies are also strongly associated with increased vaccination rates because they may make it easier for workers to get vaccinated. Since vaccination decreases morbidity, mortality, and long rates of COVID, strengthening paid sick leave policy can lead to a positive domino effect for workers and lessen the associated economic impacts of illness-related work absences. I would again add to the most vulnerable people. And I don't think that they're intending that, but I will add that caveat. But they also found that vaccination coverage may be 17% higher in cities with paid sick leave policies compared to cities without such policies, which is kind of interesting, right? Study came out of the Big Cities Health Coalition, which is a group that connected some of the largest health departments in the country to combat COVID inequities. Researchers examined national and city-level data on vaccination coverage, paid sick leave policies, and social vulnerability across 37 cities, representing 20% of the U.S. population. This is a pretty broad study. This is the kind of study I like to see and actually put weight on, because this is like serious, right? This is not taking a sample like the freaking networks do, right? Alina Shankimal, Rafman's co-author and assistant professor in the Urban Health Collaborative and the Department of Health Policy and Management at Drexel, said that coalition investigated why COVID disparities differ across cities, and this question compelled the group to look at the policies that affect vaccination rates, including paid sick leave. Regardless of whether a city has paid sick leave or not, socially vulnerable neighborhoods have lower vaccination rates, of course, but Shankimal emphasizes that in cities with a comprehensive paid sick leave policy, her group saw a smaller gap in vaccination between the least and most socially vulnerable neighborhoods, meaning that the policy also works to lessen the disparities within cities. Group defined vulnerability based on the CDC, index, which the authors conclude that paid sick leave may indirectly reduce disparities, not only in COVID-19 exposure, but also the burden of illness and death by increasing vaccination among cities' most vulnerable residents. Well, if you provide paid sick leave and you provide health care, amazing what happens. People actually take advantage of it. The authors find that in 22 cities with paid sick leave that were analyzed in the study, the median percentage of vaccinated residents aged 18 to 64 was 73% compared to only 66.5% in cities with paid sick leave policies. Approximately 73% for the podcast. It was 73.2. This discrepancy held up even after controlling for a host of other factors that might contribute to higher vaccination rates, such as county and state level election result data and the political party of the state's governor. It's not just about how progressive a city is. All the models show that paid sick leave correlates with higher vaccination. So if you're focused on getting people vaccinated, you should be advocating and pushing for paid sick leave is, I think, the messaging here. So,
yeah.
So Schnacky Mall,
not great.
Well, again, we want people on board for whatever reason they want to get on board. And even ones we disagree with in theory, because we're not for mass vaccination, at least for this. Again, I listened to an ad on the radio today that said
if they possibly means test paid sick leave through.
They literally were advertising
vaccination status.
Wait a minute, they were advertising get your shot for the original COVID and the original Omicron strain on the radio. They were telling you that's what it was for. Okay. The COVID vaccination is safe and effective, as our friend Jimmy Dore likes to say.
Is that like when like new Coke went back to being like old Coke?
Right. But there are also states that haven't passed them, actually prohibited cities from passing new expanded policies. These statewide preemptions, which are often tied to minimum wage laws, inhibit the benefits for low income and communities of color, 100%. Absent federal policy, we also have the option for states to rescind these preemptions and allow cities to pass policies that would benefit public health and decrease disparities. That's not going to happen. So there's a federal law that's there that they could pass right now that they're not going to. Why? She emphasized broader federal action. Again, we need to aspire to do better across the whole country. Agreed. I mean, while the federal government has failed to move paid sick leave, what do you mean how? Well, the first thing is you require any federal contractors to have paid sick leave. That's the first thing that you do. It's been on the books. I mean, they could just vote for that right now and pass that in a week if they want, but they're not going to. So what do you do?
Right.
How do you force the employers? Well, withhold labor is usually the way that I like to do it, but that's
use some of the power that you actually have.
That's a last resort,
unless it's illegal
in most cases. Oh, especially when it's illegal.
And then or you can just do it and see what happens.
Well, you can, and there's a lot of big risk there, and some people are willing to take that risk, others are not. That's the problem, is that not everybody is willing to take that risk. Anyway, it's imperative here that the federal government does it. That is the only way to reach everybody. And it's like, with the CARES Act, with all of this, they were saying the only way to do this universally is to do it universally, because if you try to start picking and choosing, you're never going to get everybody to do anything. Biden campaign on Build Back Better, a bill whose original proposal set aside $200 billion toward paid sick leave. So we all know what happened to Build Back bullshit. The American public voted for him based on that platform. No, they didn't. Stop. And as much as the August 2021 passage of the IRA was a victory, no, it wasn't. The law left out the law left out policies that are key to a robust social safety net, like paid sick leave. Of course it did. We still have a lot to do on that front. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Yep.
I want to call your attention, independentleft.shop. I added a How Do We Miss That t-shirt to the merch store today. So check that out. All right. We got a couple of dozen people watching. Oz in the house. What's up, Oz? The jam on. We are again over on the Rockfin. Rockfin.com/IndieLeftNews. And I think there actually is a Stream Deck button for that, but I'll do it anyway. You can chat over there, guys. It's ad-free. If you don't have YouTube Premium, just about everything that you watch, RBN, Richard Medhurst, JB Font, Sabby Sabs, Jimmy Dore, Mitt Press News, Lee Camp.
You can also
Whitney Webb.
talk with us on MySpace.
They're all over on the Rockfin.
www.myspace.com/IndieNews.Network.
Ad-free. And most of their stuff is not premium. Most of our stuff is not premium. I make the clips premium, but you can still watch the full stream for free at any time and just scroll through it. Just to make it a little bit easier and give the premium users something. And then after a week, all the clips are free too. It's just throughout the week as I release them. That's all. Anyway. So what else do we have here? Yipper,
Deluxe.
welcome Yipper, Marika, Spoopy, Velvet Trance. How are you?
Spoopy.
Kelly M. Hi. We of course have Rick and Anthony, and I'm guessing Uncle Warren is out there somewhere if he's not. Signs, we're over here now. Signs, thank you so much, and Human Love Solidarity, who is also Human Being, I believe, over on the Rockfins. Thank you for all of your support and generosity.
Human Beings.
We appreciate you over there too. You're the best.
Do we have any Bean Boy tonight? No Bean Boy.
Bean Boy?
Bean Boy.
I don't even know what Bean Boy
Legume.
is. No, we don't have any Bean Boy. We haven't done a Bean Boy in a little bit.
No Chud Legume.
Let's get into Twitter files.
Bean Boy.
Let's freaking do it. There's a lot here. It's not just Taibbi. There's also Barry Weiss, who I'm not a fan of, but I didn't want to put her picture. I could have put Elon there too and gotten some more clickbait, but this was the legendary drop on December 2nd. It's going to be history. I mean, really. Matt,
What do you mean? I heard it was a big nothing burger.
Well, it's a nothing burger that's gotten 378,000 likes on the platform and over 130,000 retweets. And this was cropped the other day, and I'm sure there's even more now. But I found a thread reader so that we don't have to read it clogged with all the different to see exactly how much action and whatever. I'm gonna give some notes and some flair on this, but I just want to kind of get through it and explain what this is. So I work a corporate job in my real life, so I have some visibility into some of this stuff, into what these Slack conversations are, and I have a little bit of context that I might be able to provide, and I want to just show what Matt's talking about and give my perspective. If you watch Primo Radical, I love what Primo Radical, his take on this has been so good as well. And I think that you're going to find that it's pretty similar to what both Matt.
What you're about to read is the first installment a series based upon.
Oh my God, that was great.
Thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter.
Primo Robot. That was brilliant, by the way. That was absolute brilliance. So, Twitter Files tells an incredible story from inside of one of the largest and most influential social media platforms. It's a Frankenstein tale of a human being mechanism grown out of the control of its designer. Pretty cool, right? And then it skips a bunch of stuff, and I'm only going to go to the most important ones. I'm not reading through this whole thing because it'd take forever. But the key is that both parties had access to these tools to censor and to request blocks and to request reviews. For instance, in 2020, requests from both Trump White House and Biden campaign were received and honored. Very important here. Campaign requests from White House were honored. This was not a complete one-sided thing. Now, it definitely was slanted. However, it was not complete. And he's saying here the system wasn't balanced. It was based on contacts. And because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly left by shit libs. I'll say it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And how much? Well, here's just how much. 96 to 99% of the individual contributions in 2018, 2020, and 2022 from the employees of Twitter went to Democrats. So we're not even talking like just a little bit of bias here. We're talking blind hatred, and you could kind of see from either from their tweets publicly and from their internal discussions, they were no fan of Trump administration, people who worked at Twitter. So, Twitter Files Part 1, how and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story is really the key of the first drop.
Well, obviously, it's because it's Russian maldisinformation.
So what happened? I think we all know, but on October 14, 2020, New York Post published the Biden secret emails, an expose based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. And what happened next? Kayleigh McEnany, Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links, posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via DMs, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, e.g. child pornography. White House spokesman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, prompting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who said at least pretend to care for the next 20 days because they were literally 20 days out from the election. And here's the email.
Icon seems like one of those names that Bart would get, like the bartender to say.
No, that's Mike Hunt. You know? That's Hunt. His last name is Hunt.
Oh.
Mike. First name Michael. Last name Hunt. Goes by Mike.
That's Mike Hahn.
Yes,
Mike Hahn.
Yes. Right. And what's really amazing is you're literally seeing like the email addresses that this is the raw stuff. They don't normally look. Twitter, government, and politics. And again, you're getting a guy who worked directly with the Trump campaign. So what it says here is all she did was cite the story and firsthand reporting that's been reported by other outlets and not disputed by the Biden campaign. I need an answer immediately on how she'll be unlocked, right? And not wrong. These guys are now playing who gets to say and decide what. This is another key thing. Everybody is saying that the FBI somehow was involved, but according to evidence that Matt's seen, there is no evidence of any government involvement in the Hunter Biden laptop story and censoring it.
You say that, but I have a clip of Joe Rogan talking to another social media giant in Zuckerberg.
Yes.
That the FBI did come to him and ask him not to put that out because they said it was Russian information.
Yes.
So, I mean, we also get to talk about like
Vajaya, watch your mouth. This is a family show.
Yeah, exactly, because now we're
just
because
pussy.
Vajaya.
Just go ahead and say it.
Pussy.
No, Vajaya. Vijaya Gotti was the legal policy and trust. All right, and this was made without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey on censoring the Hunter Biden laptop. Right.
But how does he not know?
Because he was running.
I know Vanessa did a whole thing on him.
I'll tell you how. Well, first of all, he also was running Square/Block at the time. You know, that's another Fortune 500 company. He's a dual CEO.
Yes, dual CEO.
Right.
Which means he's dual evil.
Well, no, yes, but what it means is that he's relying on the other C-level executives to really run the company because he's a public face. He's more an evangelist than the day-to-day operations control of the company. He's a chairman/CEO. It's a title. But you can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gaddy and former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. We know a lot more about Yoel Roth now, and it's not great. Comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. Yep. So now they're starting to have
Romero.
They're starting to panic a little bit, right? And then even in one humorous exchange on day one, Ro Khanna, we know Ro Khanna, he reaches out to Gaddy, and why? Because Ro Khanna is Silicon Valley's congressman. So he's basically calling on
Fuck
behalf
you.
Thanks. He's calling on behalf of Congress and on behalf of himself because he's the only one who's even remotely plugged into this that has any idea. But I guarantee that someone with the campaign got on the phone and said, this is your district. Find out what the hell's going on here. So Roe reaches out to Gowdy to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash Reef speech. Connor was the only Democratic official I could find in the files who expressed concern at all. And he did it, by the way, from his own personal Gmail account. See that? Anyway, Connor tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. Guys, by the way, I'm not doxing him. This is public. This is published already on Twitter. I'm just grabbing this right off Twitter. And that's the thing. And we're going to talk, and Matt talks about why he published it on Twitter. That was part of the conditions of doing this. So
he's talking to
Vijaya.
Yeah, Vijaya is the chief legal counsel. So he offers just wanted to offer my 2 cents. Please keep this communication just between us and Jack. No need to CC the team or forward them. You mean he's got one way of legislating when it comes to the sea level and one way of talking when it comes to everybody else?
Like a private policy and public one.
Wow. Yeah, that's what I heard. That's what I saw. Yeah, a little bit. Then we skip down and we get to Net Choice. Net Choice is like a nanny thing that they hired to monitor speech and stuff. So Net Choice lets Twitter know that a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings. They're also gathering sentiment because they're measuring what's happening with different congresspeople. Members saying it's a tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene. So every Republican said it's a tipping point. Both Democrats and Republicans were angry. Of course they were. This is over the Hunter Biden leaks. Right?
Yep.
The censoring of the Hunter Biden story, which some people say could have or did swing the election. I have questions. 20 days out, I don't know. I don't think that Hunter has anything, affects it, whatever. But that it's totally open to interpretation, and we're going to get to all that. Sabo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as text access Hollywood moment, right? So we got one more from the Twitter files continued. First Amendment isn't absolute. This is the last entry that he had on the thread for the night. And then he had some supplemental stuff to add, which I'll have. But he said the Democrats complain that companies are inept, right? So this is coming from inside Twitter. Democrats were in agreement.
Inside the House.
Right? Inside the House. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative. When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred, the First Amendment isn't absolute. Wait, what? Yeah.
It's like what Musk said. Freedom of speech isn't freedom of reach.
An amazing subplot.
What?
Right. That was good. Was how much this was done without the knowledge of Jack Dorsey and how long it took for the situation to get unfucked, as one employee put it even after he jumped in. While reviewing Gowdy's emails, I saw a familiar name, my own Matt Taibbi did, because Dorsey sent her a copy of his Substack article blasting the incident. A little bit of an ego stroke to Matt, but he earned it. So that was on the 2nd, I believe, of December. He drops that at night, and it's thread journalism. He's dropping it one tweet at a time, and everybody's kind of hanging like, what is this? Like, what's going on here? And then we're like, huh? So 4 days later, we get this in the middle of the afternoon.
Captain's log.
Captain's log. Supplemental. Yes. So this was Tuesday. That on Friday, the first installment was published here. We expected to publish more over the weekend. Many wonder why there's a delay. We can tell you why. Because this guy named Jim Baker was fired on Tuesday. Among the reasons, vetting the first batch of Twitter files without the knowledge of new management. Wait, what? Yeah. Barry Weiss.
In other news, Jim Candlestick Maker
My jaw hit the floor.
Been promoted.
Well, Fox has been allowed to investigate Henhouse effectively, is what you're talking about here. So what happened? Baker's a controversial figure. He's been something of a zealot of FBI controversies dating back to 2016, from the Steele dossier to the Alpha server mess. He resigned in 2018 after an investigation into leaks into the press. The news that Baker was reviewing the Twitter files surprised everyone involved, to say the least. New Twitter chief Elon Musk acted quickly to exit Baker on Tuesday. And then they had to go through, did he delete anything? What did he do? What does he know? What did he copy to the... Now, he worked for the FBI for years and years and years, apparently. So that was a whole other mess that came out. So that was on Tuesday. Then Friday night, Barry White starts dropping her stuff. And we knew that she was going to be doing that soon. And this one's pretty interesting because of these secret blacklists. And this is where they started to yell nothing burger. And I agree and disagree. And here's the thing, that a new Twitter files investigation reveals that teams of Twitter employees build blacklists, prevent disfavored tweets from trending, and actively limit the visibility of entire accounts or even trending topics, all in secret without informing users. That is news, whether you like it or not. We suspected. We have never had hard evidence. We've never seen the Slack messages back and forth that prove it.
Right.
Twitter once had a mission to give everyone the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Along the way, barriers nevertheless were erected. Take, for example, Stanford's Dr. Jay Bhattacharya. We're familiar with him if you're a Jimmy Dore fan, if you know about the Great Barrington Declaration. Okay, he's argued that COVID lockdowns would harm children. He's also said, and the Great Barrington Declaration has been stringent in declaring that the most vulnerable in the society should absolutely be vaccinated, but we should not try to mass vaccinate everyone as a solution, because you cannot vaccinate your way out of this problem. But the COVID vaccine is safe and effective, according to YouTube. So, Dr. Jay Bhattacharya argued that COVID lockdowns would harm children. Twitter secretly placed him on a trends blacklist, which prevented his tweets from trending. And there is the screenshot showing trends blacklist. Pretty interesting. Twitter denied that it does such things, of course. In 2018, Twitter's Vijaya Gandhi. Then she was head of legal policy and trust, which Yoel Roth then took over. And Kayvon Beckpour said, "We do not shadow ban." And then they added, "We certainly don't shadow ban based on political viewpoints or ideology." Indignant. What many people call shadow banning, Twitter executives and employees call visibility filtering, or VF. Multiple high-level sources confirmed its meaning. Think about VF as being a way for us to suppress what people see to different levels. Straight up the word suppress. It's a very powerful tool. Reef, you got something to say there?
On what?
Suppressing hate. Think about visibility filtering as being a way for us to suppress what people see at different levels.
Yes.
It's a very, very powerful tool.
Yeah.
Right. But the mechanisms that they say didn't exist.
Yes.
But this is the mechanisms they say didn't exist. And now you're seeing the specific controls and the screenshots and everything that's actually allowing that to happen. All right. So.
Well, but I mean, come on, man. This is obviously Russian propaganda. Obviously. I don't know how you don't. Obviously. You know what I mean?
Obvious. Well,
like,
isn't VF a Russian terminology? Sure. I'm kidding. VF refers to Twitter's control over user visibility. It used VF to block searches of individual users, to limit the scope of particular tweets for discoverability, to block certain users, select users' posts from ever appearing on the trending page, and from inclusion in all hashtag searches, all without users' knowledge. Shadow banning. But that's not shadow banning. We control visibility quite a bit, and we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. And normal people do not know how much we do, one Twitter engineer told us. 2 additional Twitter employees confirmed it. The group that decided...
Just read that again for people one more time.
Quote, we control visibility quite a bit. And we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. And normal people do not know how much we do.
That's the big part. That's the big part. They're essentially saying, yeah, like normal people are dumb. They don't know.
How can they? They have no visibility into this. Yes, that's what I'm saying. The group that decided whether to limit the reach of certain users was the SRT GET, the Strategic Response Team Global Escalation.
The CERT-GIT.
Yeah. It often handled up to 200 cases a day. And what's a case? But there existed a level beyond official ticketing, beyond the rank and file moderators, following the company's policy on paper, and that's the SIPPES, Site Integrity Policy Escalation Support. And who is this? This is a secret group which included head of legal policy and trust, head of global safety and global head of trust and safety, and the CEO and a couple of others. High level. Nobody even knew about it. This is where
all of these were like ex-FBI for the most part, right?
I don't think that these people were necessarily. These are like C-level, and I'm sure there were people who were involved in a few
of them that were
data security.
14 more ex-FBI and security service Twitter employees today were like,
yes,
and they were all at high level.
This is where the number 15.
Vijaya,
this is where the biggest, most politically sensitive decisions got made. Think high follower count, controversial. There would be no ticket or anything. So there's no record of this stuff. But it turns out there actually is. But
Pez seems like
it's just
like a product name,
right? One of the accounts that rose to this level of security, of course, was
for beverages.
Libs of TikTok, an account that was on the Trends blacklist and was designated as "Do Not Take Action" on user without consulting with SIPPES. This is, by the way,
what do they mean by action?
Meaning, don't block them, don't ban their account, don't shadow ban their stuff. Don't do anything without consulting the highest levels of executive management, because they're watching this.
I thought Libs of TikTok was,
they're right wingers. They're making fun of the Libs of TikTok.
Right. So what? I guess why would they?
Who works at
Why would they
Twitter?
have them not take action?
Who works at Twitter? They have to be careful because it's a high-profile right-wing account. Like James Woods, for example, which they end up banning later on, and we're going to talk about James Woods. But Libs of TikTok was on the Trends blacklist, meaning that their stuff was not allowed to go viral or to trend, on top of other things. Right.
So does that mean they also have actions that would boost that they're talking to?
Of course they could.
Who are they? Who are they sending that to? That info?
Mm-hmm. Good question.
Like any actual user? Like what actions does that user have?
Well, normally it's paid.
You know,
they have to pay Twitter ads. That's how they boost it. But you think Twitter can't give that a little boost if they want to automatically? Right. When there's a worldwide disaster or they want to push a hashtag, you guarantee they can do that.
Yeah.
And artificially. Vosh trends every day in your newsfeed. Need I say more?
Yep.
Okay. Twitter repeatedly informed the owner of Libs of TikTok account that she'd been suspended for violating Twitter's policy against hateful conduct. However, internal SIPPES memo from October 2022, after her 7th suspension, committee acknowledged that she's not directly engaged in behavior violative of the hateful conduct policy. Okay. They have continued targeting individuals of the LGBTQ for alleged misconduct. Okay, but that is not violative of their policy. According to this. Committee justified her suspensions internally by claiming that her posts encouraged online harassment of hospitals and medical providers by insinuating that gender-affirming healthcare is equivalent to child abuse or grooming. But compare this to what happened when she herself was doxxed on November 21st. A photo of her home with her address was posted in a tweet that's garnered more than 10,000 likes. Ready for this? The tweet's still up. Right now. When she told Twitter that her address had been disseminated, she says Twitter support responded with this message. We reviewed the reported content and didn't find it to be in violation of the Twitter rules. No action was taken. Doxing tweet still up. Not a fan of libs and TikTok myself, but that's ridiculous. I mean, come on. People have put up pictures of Misty's house and not even put the address, and it's still, you got to get that shit taken down. That's hypothesis underlying much of what we've implemented, according to Yoel Roth, is that if exposure to misinformation directly causes harm, then we should use remediations that reduce exposure, and limiting the spread and virality of content is a good way to do that. And then he adds that they got Jack on board with implementing this for civic integrity in the near term, but they're going to need to make a more robust case to get this into our repertoire of policy remediations, especially for other policy domains. He's setting up now what's going to be happening. And he sees the writing on the wall, and he's like, how are we going to start further banning and further implementing policy and showing that it is official and getting Jack to be on board with it? So this is right before, of course, the company sold. And pretty interesting. October 2022, we knew that Elon's taking over. I would guess that this policy, whatever they're doing, they're trying to button it up before he takes over, not realizing that he's basically going to flip the entire thing over and fire half the people and do everything that he did. So Barry also wants to say that the authors have broad and expanding access to Twitter's files. The only condition we agreed to was that the material would first be published on Twitter. This is really important. Everybody's saying that this is handpicked, that they were only given certain files and certain emails and certain everything. No, they were given everything. Here, go through it. Where do you start? I mean, you and I start in different places, but this is where they started.
Yeah.
All right. We're just getting started on our reporting. Documents cannot tell the whole story here. A big thank you to everyone who's spoken to us so far. If you're a current or former Twitter employee, we'd love to hear from you. Please write to. This is the Free Press. Now, again, not a big fan of Bari Weiss. She's terrible on Israel policy. Don't like that she worked for the New York Times. She's mainstream media shit lib.
Toady.
Terrible. But watch Taibbi for the next installment. And I did cover Matt Taibbi's next installment. And I think that
he was on Rogan recently too.
Fascinating. Oh, really? Okay. So this is where it really starts to get
a thing.
Interesting. The removal of Donald Trump from Twitter. And this is the lead up to January 6th. I have a lot more of the tweets here because this really tells a story. Matt's a really good storyteller. By the way, if you have not already, tknews.substack.com, I think it might also be taibbi.substack.com, is Matt's Substack. It's $5 a month. It's $50 a year. I became a paid supporter because, first of all, you get his breakdown and his analysis of what his take is on all of this, which I thought was pretty interesting and actually aligned pretty closely with where I was. And I was asking tough questions the minute this stuff came out. And I'll put up the tweet. I didn't grab the tweet from INN that I posted, which was basically that was this happening before the election? And turns out as this went further, yes, it was. World knows much of the story of what happened between riots at the Capitol on January 6th and the removal of Donald Trump from Twitter on January 8th. We're going to show you what hasn't been revealed, which is the erosion of standards within the company in the months before January 6th, decisions by high-ranking executives to violate their own policies and more against the backdrop of ongoing documented interaction with federal agencies, which also is new news. So we had some interesting stuff happening here. Okay. First installment covers, of course, the period through the election, before the election through January 6th. That's what we're going to cover tomorrow, and we're going to do this next week because there was just so much to go through. Oh, my God. Michael Schellenberger will detail the chaos inside Twitter on January 7th, and then on Sunday today, Bari Weiss just published the secret internal communications from the key date of January 8th when they decided to ban him. Whatever your opinion on the decision to remove Trump that day, the internal communications at Twitter between January 6th and 8th have clear historical import. Even Twitter's employees understood in the moment that it was a landmark moment in the annals of speech. Yes. I did it
You
for
did
you.
it on
Reef.
me.
Yep. I think that's in the wrong place, but that's a pretty interesting. Is this the first sitting head of state to ever be suspended? As soon as they finished banning Trump, Twitter execs started processing new power. They prepared to ban future presidents and White Houses, perhaps even Joe Biden. The new administration will not be suspended by Twitter unless absolutely necessary. They're already setting it up. Twitter executives removed Trump in part over what one executive called the context surrounding actions by Trump and supporters over the course of the election and, frankly, the last 4+ years. In the end, they looked at a broad picture, but that approach can cut both ways. Bulk of the internal debate leading to Trump's ban took place in those 3 January days. However, the intellectual framework was laid in the months preceding the Capitol riots. And this is where Yoel Roth comes into play. Before January 6th, Twitter was a unique mix of automated, rules-based enforcement and more subjective moderation by senior execs. As reported, the firm had a vast array of tools for manipulating visibility, most of which were thrown at Trump and others pre-January 6th. As the election approached, senior executives, perhaps under pressure from federal agencies with whom they met more as time progressed, increasingly struggled with rules and began to speak of VOs and pretext to what they'd likely have done anyway. Very important opinions. I don't remember what the VOs are. Violations. Okay. After January 6th, internal Slacks showed Twitter executives getting a kick out of intensified relationships with federal agencies. Here's Yoel Roth lamenting a lack of generic enough calendar descriptions. He's humble bragging here. You know,
he looks like one of those guys we have on Who Are These People? That's what
definitely not meeting with the FBI. I swear.
Just
yeah.
AI generated.
Okay. One particular Slack channel, this really piqued my interest, offers a unique window into the evolving thinking of top officials in late 2020 and early 2021. On October 8th, 2020, executives opened a channel called US 2020 XFN Enforcement. Through January 6th, this would be home for discussions about election-related removals, especially ones that involve high-profile accounts, often called VITs or very important tweeters. There was at least some tension between safety operations, which is a larger department whose staffers used a more rules-based process for addressing issues like porn, scams, and threats, and a smaller, more powerful cadre of senior policy execs like Roth and Gaddy. They're the little fiefdom. The latter group were a high-speed Supreme Court of moderation, issuing content rulings on the fly, often in minutes and based on guesses, gut calls, even Google searches, even in cases involving the president. So there's this specific tweet where Trump tweets out 50,000 Ohio voters getting wrong absentee ballots, out of control, a rigged election. They say a rigged election would be enough to be in violation, right? But as it turns out, if the claim were in fact inaccurate, yes. However, turns out it was true. And he found it where? On Reddit. Through NPR. Turns out that one's true. During this time, executives were also clearly liaising with federal enforcement and intel agencies about moderation of election-related content. What? Well, we're still at the start of reviewing the Twitter files. We're finding out more about these interactions every day. This post about the Hunter Biden laptop situation shows that Roth not only met weekly with the FBI and Homeland Security, but also with the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. So, here's what's new for you since our last check-in. Hacked materials exploded. We blocked the New York Post story, then we unblocked it, then we said we unblocked it, and now we're in a messy situation where our policy's in shambles, comms is angry, reporters think we're idiots, and we're refactoring an exceedingly complex policy 18 days out from an election. In short, fuck my life. Weekly sync with FBI, DHS, DNI re-election security. The meeting happened about 15 minutes after the aforementioned hacked materials implosion. The government declined to share anything useful when asked. Monthly meeting with FBI, FITF. That's a business acronym. Middle split. Briefed on several ongoing investigations. His report to the FBI DHS is almost farcical in its self-flagellating tone. We blocked the NY. Yeah, right. So exactly. Comms is angry reporters think we're idiots. In short, fuck my life. Some of his later slacks indicate his weekly confabs with federal law enforcement involved separate meetings. Here, he ghosts the FBI and DHS respectively to go to an Aspen Institute thing, then take a call with Apple. And I didn't show the screenshot, but he's showing that he's got these meetings on his calendar all the time, to the point where he can't even make them all. Examining the entire election enforcement Slack, we didn't see one reference to moderation requests from the Trump campaign, the Trump White House, or Republicans generally. We looked. They may exist. We were told they do. However, they were absent here. Is this what that dude was doing? Or was this happening in another channel entirely from another committee and another group of people privately that did not have access to this? I'm not sure. But this is also a pretty interesting revelation. That inside that channel, they were only talking about the Hunter Biden laptop and Democrats, and never about anything from the Trump campaign. Here's one case that's pretty interesting. Mike Huckabee. We know this guy. He joke tweets about mailing in ballots for his deceased grandparents and parents and grandparents. They vote just like me. Dumbass. So they're like, what do we do? This inspires a long Slack that reads like a parody. I agree it's a joke, but he's literally admitting a tweet, in a tweet, a crime. Group declares Huck's an edge case, and though one notes, we don't make exceptions for jokes or satire, they ultimately decided to leave him be because we've poked enough bears. Totally subjective.
Yep.
Somebody else said this could still mislead people, The humor reverse group declares before moving on. In the docs, they often expand criteria to subjective issues like intent. Yes, a video is authentic, but why was it shown? Orientation. Was a banned tweet shown to condemn or support? Or reception. Did a joke cause confusion? This reflex will become key on January 6th. In another example, Twitter employees prepare to slap mail-in voting is safe warning label on a Trump tweet about a postal screw-up in Ohio before realizing the events took place, which meant that the tweet was factually accurate. And that's the one about the ballots. Nearly 50,000 voters received wrong ballots in Ohio. Do you feel safe mailing in your ballot? That's literally from ABC. No, a rigged. He just knows how to troll everybody. He really does. And just wow. So inside, what are they saying? Okay. They say to not sure how the process is, forget. Are we expected to do the policy comms write up? Right. And I've been on paid time off, so I'm not 100% up to speed. My understanding is in both cases the events took place, and the commentary by POTUS is his opinion related to these events, so there wouldn't be any labeling action violation on our side. Yeah, these are factually accurate. Thanks for clarifying. So they can't do anything. They're trying every day. They're looking at every tweet that he's making, and they're going, can we block this one, boss? Can we do this one, boss? How about this one, boss? Oh, look at we got it. Wow. Okay. Again, I'm not a Trump fan. I didn't vote for Trump. I'm not a Trump fan. But you can't do this. You can't do this to the president of the United States on every single tweet. You can't do this. They've never done this before in history. Very well done on speed. Trump was being visibility filtered as late as a week before the election. Here, senior execs didn't appear to have a particular violation, but still worked fast to make sure a fairly anodyne tweet couldn't be replied to, shared, or liked. This was factual. What's the team's recommendation? They had a whole doc to discuss it. Thank you. Agree. Flagging right now with the leadership given that it's POTUS. We'll set up a call. Can we use a new doc per PII review? Okay. And then here's a new doc. And then it's EDI approved. Right? So a seemingly innocuous follow-up involved a tweet from an actor. We all know James Woods. He's total right-wing douchebag on Twitter, or used to be on Twitter, till they booted him off. Right? Why? Because he shared this tweet, which proves he's claiming Twitter is suppressing this tweet by the president. Here's a screen grab. They can't share this. You can't really see what this is. They're trying to immediately call him out for being a liar, or at least provide some kind of additional context to his tweet that they don't do to anybody else. This is unequal treatment. Right? They're saying that James Woods' ubiquitous presence in argued over Twitter datasets is already a Twitter files in joke. I guess among the researchers, because he's so effective at poking the bear and he's there so often and he pisses off Twitter executives so often. That would be my guess. After Woods angrily quote tweeted Trump's warning label, Twitter staff, in a preview of what ended up happening after January 6th, despaired of a reason for action, but resolved to hit him hard on future VIO. That is a really key phrase, that hit him hard on future VIO. Considering, okay, he says, with firmer basis. Meanwhile, I love saying that, there are multiple instances of involving pro-Biden tweets warning that Trump may try to steal the election that got surfaced only to be approved by senior executives. This one, they decide, just expresses concern that mailed ballots might not make it on time. I mean, they're going to try to steal the election. These are blue checks. If you haven't voted yet, don't mail. Drop it off or vote early. If you can't vote, vote them out. Right? So it's encouraging people to vote. So therefore, even though they're saying they're going to try to steal it, that's okay. Right? This is an edge case with commentary and encouraging voters not to vote by mail. I believe we should label it. And I don't know who this Patrick Conlon is, but he seems to be making an awful lot of decisions about censorship here at Twitter. I'd not bother labeling with labeling this one. It's still encouraging people to vote, but expresses the concern that mailed ballots might not make it on time, which seems fair close to this election date. Still encouraging people to turn in ballots in person or vote in person, which is good, except that, okay. So on December 10th, as Trump is in the middle of firing off 25 tweets saying things like a coup is taking place in front of our eyes, Twitter executives announced, like literally in the middle of his tweet storm, a new L3 de-amplification tool. This step meant a warning label now could also come with de-amplification. And here again is our friend Patrick Conlon. Hello, everyone. I wanted to give you an update to some of our enforcement options for tweets containing the civic misinfo that we've seen. It's been decided that tweets that we've manually reviewed and determined need a label will now be subject to L3 de-amplification, further restricting the extent to which that tweet can be shared. The current batch of entity IDs will soon be used for automated labeling work, but I've created a new batch of entity IDs for the labels that we've been using the most during the past couple weeks. Labels that we've only rarely used or that have been deprecated already haven't gotten an L3 update. If there's a moment when we need the L3 version for one of those labels, please flag it to Matt Graydon or myself. To find the new L3 entity IDs, please look at this update tab and new civ blah, blah, blah. Also in some spreadsheet, right? So how do you find that out? Some executives wanted to use that new de-amplification tool to silently limit Trump's reach more right away, like within minutes, beginning with the following tweet. And this was when Jim Jordan, he tweets, Trump got 11 million more votes, according to Jim Jordan on Newsmax, and it's a segment, and they want to block this and de-amplify it. The significance is that it shows that Twitter, in 2020 at least, was deploying a vast range of visible and invisible tools to rein in Trump's engagement long before January 6th. and before the election. How is that not the biggest story here? In Twitter docs, execs frequently refer to bots, e.g., let's put a bot on that. A bot is just any automated heuristic moderation rule. It can be anything. Every time a person in Brazil uses green and blob in the same sentence, do something. I call it an if command. So they created one in this instance. It appears that moderators added a bot for a Trump claim made on Breitbart. And I'm not a big fan of Breitbart. But this is interesting because immediately the bot ends up becoming an automated tool invisibly watching both Trump and apparently Breitbart. Trump by January 6th was quickly covered in bots, which is kind of funny. There is no way to follow the frenzied exchanges among Twitter personnel from between January 6th and 8th without knowing the basis of the company's vast lexicon of acronyms and Orwellian unwords. I love that. Acronyms and Orwellian unwords. That's so good. To bounce an account is to put it in timeout, usually for a 12-hour review or cool-off period. I actually got one of those on my DMs about a week and a half ago.
Yep.
Interstitial, and we're all very familiar with that because our friend Fiorella gets the interstitials every day, is one of the many nouns used as a verb in Twitter speak. Deny list is another, which means placing a physical label atop a tweet so it can't be seen. PII has multiple meanings, one being public interest interstitial, i.e., a covering label applied for public interest reasons. Post below also references proactive V or proactive visibility filtering, meaning they're throwing the kitchen sink at this stuff. And they still can't stop it. And can you imagine how far it would have gone, how much more viral, how many more people, how much more effective it could have been had they not thrown blocks on it? And yeah, they're not, again, but we're supposed to have a free and equal country, right? Where everyone has the equality of opportunity and the equality of reach and the equality of message. This is all necessary background of January 6th. Right. Before the riots, company was engaged in an inherently insane and impossible to project, trying to create an ever-expanding, ostensibly rational set of rules to regulate every conceivable speech situation that might arise between humans. That sounds like a totally normal thing to do. The project was preposterous, yet its leaders were unable to see this, having become infected with groupthink, coming to believe sincerely, holy shit, that it was Twitter's responsibility to control as much as possible what people could talk about, how often, and with whom. That's the tweet that drove me insane right there. When panic first breaks about January 6th, there's a fair share of what the fuck type posts mixed in with frantic calls for Twitter to start deploying its full arsenal of moderation tools. What's the right remediation? Do we interstitial the video? Asked one employee. This theme of policy, perhaps being stressed by queries from communications executives who themselves have to answer the public questions, occasionally appears. 2 days later, you see chatter about pulling comms out of the loop. First company-wide email from Gaddy on January 6th announced that 3 Trump tweets had been bounced, but more importantly signaled a determination to use legit violations as a guide for any possible permanent suspension. Here's the email from Vijaya. Hi team, an update on actions we're taking as a result of what's happening in DC today. We have removed 3 tweets from @RealDonaldTrump on January 6th for making unfounded claims of voter fraud and election theft, which must be viewed in the context of violence in Washington, D.C. today, and reasonably can be expected to continue to incite and inspire violent acts around the country. We're requiring a 12-hour timeout following the removal of these tweets. We also have tweeted so there's transparency in our actions and making it clear that future violations of the Twitter rules will result in permanent suspension. Imagine if they had done this to Pedro Castillo. Imagine if they had done this to Lula. Imagine if they had done this to Boris Johnson. Here's what happened. Safe to say Trump's go home with love and in peace tweet mid-riot didn't go over very well at Twitter headquarters. And there's our friend Patrick Conlon. What the actual fuck? I'm labeling this now? What are you labeling it? Sorry, I got emotionally angry seeing that. Turns out I'm not a full robot. Who knew? It's gut-wrenching. He's a horrible human being. So again, we're getting his personal bias now on full display.
Mm-hmm.
In the most critical moments. The last few notes about January 6th. Roth at one point looked and found Trump had a slew of duplicate bot applications. They were making sure, like I said, throwing every possible filter that they could at every Trump tweet and every Trump everything to make sure that he was not tagged, that you couldn't tag him in stuff that, man, that campaign's got all kinds of cases that they can make that this how do you determine exactly what the influence was here? So by the end of the first day, top execs are still trying to apply rules. By the next day, they'll contemplate a major change in approach. Watch this weekend for the play-by-play of how all that went down. And then we'll cover that next week. Maybe. I don't know. I'm going to look through it and see if it really makes sense to really go through the day-to-day. We all know what happened. I want to establish the corporate policy, and I'm going to talk. I have a recap and I have a summary of what are we pulling out of all this. By January 8th, which we'll describe on Sunday, Twitter is going to be receiving plaudits from our partners in Washington, and the sitting U.S. president will no longer be heard on the platform. So, lastly, people on the left, right, and in between want to know what else is in the Twitter files, from suppression and shadow banning of leftists to lab leak theorists, or amplification of military propaganda, or conservative accounts. We know everyone has questions. And while we stumbled on tidbits here and there about topics ranging from COVID to foreign policy, the reality is the data sets are so enormous, and we're still working through them. Totally understand. That was a lot, I know. And I got one more story that's kind of heavy, but also kind of uplifting and kind of wow. But before I do, I know, I gotta take a breath. Who's back on Twitter now? Yeah, I know. I saw that the Krasenstein. Oh, James Woods is back on Twitter, but I'm guessing he's not going to tweet until Trump does. Harry Weiss did not dox the libs of TikTok. That tweet was already up and doxed, and she did not publish the account. That tweet. I don't think that she doxed.
Yeah,
that
no,
person.
it was someone else they're talking about. You didn't read far enough down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, violations, those 14 other still work at Twitter. Yep. Yeah, it was all against the right. No, that's not all against the right. And Elon's wrong because Elon doesn't have access to this yet. Like he's seeing it when we're seeing it. I mean, he's got access to all of it because he gave it to them. But did he do the searching and did he do the work? I mean, no, he's not doing the research that they're doing. He's not reading through all the day-to-day stuff. He just doesn't have the time. Taylor Lorenz, right. Taylor Lorenz is the one that did that. But I got one more and then we're gonna go. But Eliza Bleu. Bleu. Oh, wait. Okay, wait. There's two more. Oh, right. Twitter files. I didn't do my summary. Duh. So this came out yesterday. Twitter files, part 7, on January 7th, part 4. What's happening? And I just put these two in because this is where we're going to probably pick up. But as the pressure builds, Twitter execs build the case for a permanent ban. They create justifications to ban him. They seek a change of policy for Trump alone. And they express no concern for the free speech or democracy implications of banning a president of the United States, which is pretty fucked up. So here's my conclusions. Number 1, Twitter was absolutely suppressing POTUS as he was running for re-election because of their opinions, not due to anything legal. This alone is a massive problem as it sets precedent and opens the door for Trump to scream he was cheated. Through every filter they had was the phrase that jumped out at me.
Right.
Like I said, we need to see who else Twitter was suppressing, and yet all the accounts not in legal or platform violations reinstated and restored. They're bringing back pro-imperialist accounts like Krasenstein's now. Give me a fucking break. Julian Assange, Palestine, Syria, Yemen, Fort Hood. What are they blocking with regard to Fort Hood? And then the Green Party. I mean, look at all the the suppression of the Green Party. There were no rules for very important tweeters. Twitter execs were making it all up as they went along. I mean, wow. And then Twitter Trust and Safety, of course, meeting weekly with the FBI, DHS, and DNI. How often were they pushing suppression of a story, filtering users? And here the government seems to be in a position to place themselves between social media companies and foreign governments, combined with Pegasus, Toku, other types of spyware found on journalist devices. I mean, how is that legit? I mean, and then here's my final thing is, and I keep saying, this is still being written. We are watching a textbook being written in real time. None of us knows where it's going to go. The research is still being done. They're still digging into Slack. They're still digging into emails, and they're still learning more every hour. It's going to be months, and they're going to keep dripping and dropping this out like over months. That's how I see this happening. And that's fine.
I mean, is there any reason that they won't release them?
Well, there is all kinds of
other journalists.
Journalists, yes, but there's all kinds of sensitive information in there, I'm sure, that they're trying to protect.
Sure.
Contact info and victims of sexual assault and trafficking and all kinds of things that are named in these communications that should not necessarily be made public. All right. And that's why. But Eliza Bleu. Big Mad Crab. Love it. Eliza Green, because of the green screen, it became Eliza Black.
Sure.
Okay. So what's been going on? Does anybody know who Eliza Bleu is? I think most of you do. Some of you do. Well, Eliza Bleu is
you put a poll up.
I did. What were the results of that poll? It was 50-50 early on. Did I end that poll? I don't know how to end it. It's 50-50 according to this.
I could look.
But anyway.
It is 50-50 now. Still.
Back on November 23rd, he says, it would be nice if the public found out the truth about what's actually been going on with Twitter over the past 10 years as it pertains to their failure around the issue of removing child sexual abuse material at scale. Notice the date on that. That's like 9 days before the Twitter files. And if you read Matt's timeline, it was after this that Elon called him and offered to hand him all this. She is partially responsible, if not solely responsible, for the Twitter files themselves. I don't know if anybody knows this or realizes. So I wanted to crop that. That's kind of important, kind of relevant. But I also wanted to crop this. In the last 8 months, and I wrote this to Eliza, I got to learn about her, executive produced a live stream where she was a guest, then got to read and share this important collection of quotes and support from people across the political spectrum about Julian Assange. And then the past 5 weeks has happened after her speech in D.C. Wow. And what's going on? Well, on December 1st, she says this will be the last update about child pornography before Elon Musk took ownership. This comes out on the first of every month, story in the thread. So 44,000 accounts on child pornography were eliminated from Twitter. Not enough. Improved manpower, technology. Right? And this was right after they eliminated a bunch of people, which they're now working on restaffing and throwing back. And I wanted to point out, Teresa Kelly, who's also a fan of the network and the show, pointed out to Eliza that she has over 150,000 followers that are seeing her tweets and able to respond. However, George Galloway has over 400,000 and barely 100 people are seeing his important truth-telling tweets. Please stop giving Elon credit for things until he walks his talk. Except that, and I feel you, but he's eliminating leftists everywhere. Garland Nixon, he's kicked Jackson Hinkle off 3 times. Child sexual abuse stuff and addressing that is a separate issue from this, and we can still give him credit for that. But she says after Matt's release, she says soon she wants to do the Twitter files CSE. And then this guy Andrea, who he came out with a whole thing about what Twitter is doing to fight exploitation, and there's a whole big thing. In the past 24 hours, again, Twitter started to step up efforts and took down 44,000 suspicious accounts, including over 1,300 profiles that tried to bypass detection using code words and text and images to communicate. Zero tolerance. So Eliza's comment to Teresa and to everyone is that a few things can be true at once. That there is still child sexual abuse exploitation material on Twitter. There are still hashtags engaging in distributing exploitation content. Twitter is working hard to remove the content. And here's where to report. Report.cybertip.org. Eliza then goes into a Twitter Spaces held by Mario. 5.5 hours.
It's me.
And at the end of it, Eliza jumps on the last 20 minutes and talks to Elon. Now, again, this is not obviously Elon, but
yeah,
he says, thank you for the shout out. He directly shouts her out. Thank you for prioritizing the vulnerable and voiceless. All right. When Elon said priority number one, I'm a father too, right? So am I. Again, 5.5 hours. He took an open forum questions.
What's his kid's name?
Oh, goodness. Aeon, whatever. Blah, 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 X12.
X, yeah.
But this was when he also agreed to do the poll about Julian Assange and Edward Snowden that ended up getting 80%. Let them go. Set them free. But Eliza ended up on this call and she says, sorry, I had to leave. I'm at work. I just cried in front of 200,000 people. I think we just cried together.
That's nothing, Eliza.
Wow. Just, all right. And then Tara saying in yesterday's spaces, Elon acknowledged the powerful work of Eliza to advocate for children and the commitment of Twitter to protect children online. Eliza's been a tireless advocate for human sexual trafficking survivors. And she's thanking everyone who supported her. I'll keep updating Twitter, but ultimately my work here is done. I'm moving my public advocacy to focusing on advocating for the thousands of survivors abused and exploited at the hands of the UN globally. Yes, it's happening there too. I'll never stop fighting for the survivors of Twitter, both in public and in private. I love you. I always have and I always will, and I'm not leaving you. Thank you to everyone who supported my advocacy, and I'm just getting started. I totally believe that. And somebody says, I got to say, this is news to me. The UN keeps engaging in human trafficking. Is there evidence? Well, this is on their own website. And on December 4th, they're talking about victim blaming. And she's like, yeah, well, there's no excuse for this either. No arrests. I told her this was in the slideshow tonight. Do some PR on these nuts. Love her.
These nuts. Ha! Got him.
Yeah. So she also is of the opinion that independent and citizen journalists covering one topic relentlessly and accurately is the new media. Elon Musk says, I'm making removing child sexual exploitation of Twitter my number one priority. He makes the changes. U.S. government investigate Elon Musk and other Twitter HQ members. Curious. 60,000 likes. Look at her go. There is still child sexual abuse and exploitation material on Twitter. This issue will take a long time to eradicate, but the platform making it their top priority and removing it is a great start. Again, please report exploitation. Twitter prioritized the censorship of non-illegal speech over the removal of child sexual abuse material at scale. Let that sink in.
Yep.
That's as a result of Barry Weiss and the second Twitter files thing with regard to the visibility filtering. All of this was going on as minor survivors begged the platform to remove their child sexual abuse material. Blacklist.
Like, oh,
gross. What kind of effect? I've been following you for a while, and I really believe you had a big hand in this by making Elon aware of it. And he has a lot on his plate, And to break through all that noise isn't easy. Him mentioning you shows me that you had a hand in this. Bravo. Yes, Eliza. Yes, she did. And then what happened? She got Jack and Elon into a spaces together to address this allegation that Twitter had not been addressing child sexual exploitation before Elon took over, or effectively. Right? Jack said that it was a lie. Elon says that when Ella Irwin joined Twitter earlier this year, almost no one was working on child safety. She raised this with Ned and Parag. They rejected her staffing request. And we read that. Minor, not even major. Or maybe I read that today. I made it top priority immediately. 2.5 hours. She gets Elon and Jack. And everyone, let's settle this today and in public. Fierce. God, she's amazing.
Yep.
Tara, INN member, our sister Tara, love you to death, Tara Reid. Not that you need me to be proud of you, Eliza, but thank you for all you're doing for adult and children survivors and engaging Elon, who is taking action to protect children on Twitter. You're a rock star. And you too, Tara Bull 808. And Eliza, I know Carl, her kitty, is proud. Look at this. INN member Tara Reid. Richest man in the world. Eliza Bleu. Pretty freaking cool. Elon had no reason to promise me anything. We had no prior connection before he purchased Twitter. My favorite Elon Musk quote of all time: when something's important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Sounds like the Hunger Games. But
yep.
So somebody, of course, has to go with the low smear, and it is a smear. Is this Elon Ghislaine picture? And there's a lot of controversy over this Ghislaine picture. You know, is this the issue? Because, of course, famous child sex trafficker, allegedly, dedicated to eliminating sex trafficking from the platform.
Well, no, not allegedly, convicted.
Right. Now.
So.
Except, Eliza wants to remind people that, remember, when a public survivor of Epstein-Maxwell thanked Elon Musk after he brought up the Epstein co-conspirators not being held accountable? I do. That was in June. That photograph has been addressed by literally everyone except the individuals who invited her to the party. Get new material. That photo's tired and old. The real question here is, why is she always invited to these events? Is that Deborah Messing?
Don't know.
And there were, again, 44,000 in a day. That was as much as there was in the month prior. And all the numbers that we've seen are that they have really made strides this month in increasing the number of accounts that are being eliminated. And to the point that somebody who's an advocate and dedicates all of her time to doing this is satisfied to the point that she's moving on to other things. So thank you, Eliza. But here, 44 billion buying Twitter, reducing child sexual exploitation, priceless. And I thought that was a good way to kind of that. And then Eliza saying that the CSA material that Twitter 2.0 has removed over the last 72 hours, that was yesterday, in some cases had been on Twitter for 4 years. It had 10 million collective views.
Jesus. Ugh.
Yeah, I know. I need a shower. That was gross. Sorry, but important.
Jesus Christ.
Not enough people are talking about Eliza Bleu. Not enough people are talking about what's still happening on Twitter with regard to trafficking, CSE, and it's wow. She's amazing. I totally behind her. And I'll amplify her story all day long. So keep them coming. Keep fighting the fight. We're right behind you, and you got a lot of people that are right behind you, and a ton of support and a ton of love out there for you. Thank you, Eliza.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Appreciate you.
All right. Nate, I highly doubt, we'll see any news about the many anti-capitalist, anti-fascist accounts that have been targeted and suppressed and banned. I don't think that you're right. I think we're going to get it all. I don't think that the journalists that they picked are right-wing or left-wing in the end, and that they're going to get it all out. I do really think that.
Barry Weiss, I think, is.
Barry Weiss is definitely right-wing, but she's got an agenda.
That Assad toady line still kills me to this day on that. Like she's part of that group. Not necessarily right wing, but like far more corporate than far closer to establishment talking points.
All right, that wasn't terrible. So we got through it in an hour and a half. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm now ready for some eye bleach because that was pretty ridiculous. So let's go to some boats.
And I watch mindless shit. Boats that smash into other boats.
Yay, boats, everybody.
It's the Reef Show.
Here's the Reef Show here. Here we go, peoples. Let's do this. Whew. Look, boats. Do you see boats?
I see boats. I see a boat.
Yay.
Hey! Uh-oh.
Hey!
Oh my god. Wow, that really smashed into another boat.
In the other boat.
Shit.
Hey!
Wow. That smashed hard.
Yeah, it did.
Damn.
Yeah. Guess what? Double dose, baby.
Oh. Jimmy Dore, are you watching?
You better be.
Somebody shit.
Oh. Prince Walid. Bye, Prince Walid. Yeah. It's going to list, and then it's going to go over.
Oh. Let's do it again.
Huge scratch my dinghy. Yes. Mastermind hour. You got it.
The Prince Walid.
Is that like the Prince Albert in a can? Do you have Prince Albert in a can?
Yes.
You better go catch him.
In a can.
You better let him out.
So good news, everyone. School nurses can now give medical marijuana in Colorado.
By the way, everyone go to Big Mad
right.
Crab's store. He didn't give me the link, but Big Mad Crab, drop your store link in there so you can go buy a merch item from him. Nice. School nurses can give weed. Wait, what? Oh.
Uh-huh.
Damn it.
And then, zoomies.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm sick as fuck.
Nice.
Excuse me, miss. I'm sick. Oh, God. So I figured we need some meditation before we go to Dad Zone. So.
My Dad Zone has not been very cheap.
This is Indy in his bathroom.
Why over the stream?
In the stream.
Why in the stream? That's supposed
Glacial
to
runoff? Waterfall?
Is that supposed to?
What?
Okay. I'm confused.
Dude, that'll be super cold water. That looks cold.
I could just put an ice cube in. That'd be super cold too.
Sure. But then you wouldn't have the sick waterfall.
That's true.
You know?
That's true.
So, This one's just cute. I figured we'd start cute.
This one goes in my hand. This one goes in your hand. Do not let it vanish. If I do that, you see my ball vanishes. You know. How did you do that?
Isn't that cute? I thought it was cute.
Fucker.
This one's also cute. You got that one.
Oh. Doink. Ow. That's gonna leave a mark.
They make those they make those wiffle balls soft. You know? There are two types of kids. That's what this one's called.
Somebody gave me fire!
Somebody gave me fire.
It's like I have made fire. Yes, at a Castaway.
From like Castaway?
Yeah.
Wilson?
Yeah.
This is Indy in the bathroom. Needed a 2-minute break from my kids and they tried breaking into my room.
I've definitely seen this. I've definitely been this.
Here's work already! Daddy, we just want you to scare us.
Yeah, Daddy. We just want you to scare us.
They slide shit under the door. Yeah.
Do they?
The struggle is real. I feel that, Dad.
Yes, it
Big
is.
time.
You know what that sign says?
Yes.
Can you see what that sign says? Okay.
I do.
What does it say? What's that say?
No sitting, where you're fishing.
That's right. So we're going to stand up and fish, okay?
Yeah.
Let's get it.
We're going to stand up and fish. All right, let's get it.
Okay, well.
Go get us some fish today.
Sure.
This one is, you're going to hate me for this one.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, Tara. Oh, this is for Tara.
No, this is for you.
Okay.
It's a menu.
I get it. Menu. Okay. We have menu. Candy.
Apple juice.
Apple juice.
Oh, that's like my kid.
We have water.
Yeah.
Water. Oh, they live in the Northeast. They live in New Jersey.
Water. We have
juice.
We have
grape juice. That's grape juice.
Grab.
Come on, I even know that. That's grape juice.
The water.
That's great.
Water.
That's my kids are totally in that spelling mode in phonetic spelling, and it's great to see them like making that. Yep, that's right, Colin.
Yep.
It's the phonetic spelling though. That's right. Yipper saying YouTube violation. What did you just get me DMCA'd for now? I'm kidding.
I don't know.
Florida man. Is that a Grinch?
Here we go. So, what I'm doing to my kids right before Christmas if they don't listen. Bug. The Christmas tree.
Oh shit!
That's fucked up. I love the kid in the background. I hate you. So my 2-year-old literally told me what he wanted for dinner: hot dogs, tomatoes, and grapes. Went with me to the store to get it. Scanned it at self-checkout by himself. Cut up the grapes, tomatoes, and hot dog with his toddler knife. put it all on his own plate, and then refused to eat dinner. No, I don't wanna.
Welcome to parenting.
No.
Welcome to parenting.
Here's some topical parenting.
We're out on the field with his son, still celebrating. I don't think those gloves fit. Does he? Yeah, he's got a little bit slower reaction time than Dad.
Oh, people can't see it.
Keeper.
Here we go.
We're out on the field with his son, still celebrating. I don't think those gloves fit. Does he? Yeah, he's got a little bit slower reaction time than Dad. The keeper.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to save that one.
It's like one of the goalie's kids. No, this is weird shit. Like,
what the? Why would you? Gator boy. It's Boudreaux.
Gator boy.
It's Boudreaux.
It's Boudreaux. It's swimming with the gators. I've been swimming since the gator since I was 2.
Oh my god. What the fuck?
Sounds of banjo intensifies. I gotta do this. We gotta go here. And we go to the next one. Oh, this one's good.
What kind of bee makes milk?
What kind of bee makes milk?
Yes, boobies. Because they have the word bees in it.
Yeah.
Well, she's not wrong.
I like his face. It's like, oh, yeah, it does.
I guess it does. Huh. He's taking one too many shots to the head.
Oh my! I know, right? Well, it is at the Muay Thai place.
Mom.
What? Matthew?
I had a bad dream.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't care, Matthew.
Mom.
Matt, come on, it's 3 a.m.
Yeah, when else would I have a bad dream?
That's actually a good point.
Thank you. Oh, you're awake.
What do you want me to do anyway? Look under your bed for monsters?
I mean, if you could, that'd be awesome.
Okay, I'm going to
Why'd you ask? Dad. Dad.
What do you want?
I had a bad dream.
Yes, I know. I could hear you.
Then why'd you ask? Well, if you're not going to offer, can I sleep in your bed with you?
Are you going to be quiet?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Watch where you put your hand.
Was that not your knee?
No.
Oh.
Matt, I will pay you to leave.
How much?
I will pay you to leave.
How much?
How much?
Never thought a bad dream would be profitable.
I know, right? Oh God, this one. Oh, you ready?
Yo, so I'm raw dogging this chick, right? She goes, yo, I'm on birth control. You can just bust a nut on me whenever you want. And you know what I did? I busted. So now this is
Daniel. Dylan.
Oh shit.
Why does it not? We gotta get the whole thing. We gotta get all of it.
I got it, but that's really funny.
Yo, so I'm raw dogging this chick, right? She goes, yo, I'm on birth control. You can just bust a nut on me whenever you want. And you know what I did? I busted. So now this is Dylan.
So now this is Dylan. The way he says it. Like, oh, this one's good. And wait for it.
Nope. Where'd she
Like,
go?
you gotta watch where the stairs are, kid.
Where'd she go?
You gotta watch where the stairs. Just down the stairs.
Oh.
Just down the stairs. Whee!
A bad internet.
Do you know what time it is? Yay, Kitty! This was not Kitty though to start with.
What? Oh, you're not there anymore. You turn yourself off.
Fuck everything about that right there. Hi, duty
Aww. That's a happy boy.
Oh my god.
That is happy boy.
So haps. Mm-hmm.
Happy
Mine's doing
puppers.
happy dance over here too for some reason. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you going over there for? Well, come here. You big weirdo. No, you don't want to come on camera because you're shy. You want to go outside? Okay. I'll be right there. No, my puppers.
Puppers. Oh.
Yes. Here's one.
We're in Lancashire, with a mum desperate to turn the tide in her family's current eating, shopping and spending habits. We are the Allison
family. I mean, come on.
Parrot.
Peekaboo. To the fucking thing that will...
Cats are assholes.
Yes.
Oh, Ed. Oh, Ed.
Oh, that's funny.
And notice, not Chicago.
Not Chicago.
Next.
It's just funny. Like, that dog is like, ah, wah, 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 wah. Sorry. Anyway.
Well, that's a pretty good phone holder.
I know, right?
Yeah, good luck getting him to stay still.
Yep. And action.
Where's the kitty?
Like, it's gone.
He went through the window.
It's just funny.
He didn't even get wet because he was inside, but it looked like he got wet. He just jumped.
This one is like,
that's
everything about
kitty.
this is like perfect kitty. Oh, big eyeballs. I gotta get ready. And I gotta do my butt wiggle, and then fucking attack. Like, everything's planned. Like, oh, this one, I gotta get the zoom right on this one. Ready?
Go. Bop.
It's just a little face he bakes.
Not happy cat.
Like, he just makes this like light. Like when it hits, it's just like, like ah. Anyway, whoop. What else I got? This cat has all the skills. Balance and poise one must have.
What the fuck? Okay, that's
like,
creepy.
It's like,
that is creepy. It's a supermodel cat.
But impressive.
Supermodel cat.
Yeah. Super bottle cat.
Supermodel.
Is that a bottle of Guinness?
No, model. Supermodel.
Heineken? Oh.
Oh, that glass went flying.
Look, a baboosh cat.
Cat has way more balance skills than we do, Nate.
Baboosh cat. It's so cute. It's cute kitty. What else I got? What is this one? Oh yeah, this is the one. I remember this one.
With a long head, we're gonna see what he is.
What the?
Oh, what the fuck? Oh, dog, his mouth's open. Bro, what is this? Look at that. Poke its neck. Neck. Look. Oh, fuck! I got scared. I ain't gonna lie. Bro. Poke its body. Bro, what if he attacks me? Hey, look.
Why are you poking that thing?
Ooh. Oh, shit!
He did attack him. Hey, don't fuck with him.
He did attack. Don't fuck with that little bug boy. It was definitely fucking weird giraffe bug though.
It was.
Fuck.
Mutated friggin' I don't know what. Oh my god.
That's a ferret, but it got like the bean bag. And all the fucking beans are stuck to the bean boy. Like, oh, look at them. So they're falling off of them and shit. This is funny. Look, your knight in shining armor has arrived.
Oh my god. And Richard Gere got very aroused.
You need a hero. What? Why did I? No. God.
Way too
this
close
one's good. There's the poppers.
They say you can give your dog an egg, and they know to be gentle with it.
There's no way this will work. Come on, Bobby. Okay, so I'm gonna give my dog an egg, and supposedly, wait, supposedly he knows how to take care of it. Let's go.
Oh, that's just
fucking slips on the egg.
That's just mean.
I just found.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna refresh this one.
Hey.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, y'all, just found out my wife's been cheating on me.
What?
Say what you just said.
I'm gonna be back in an hour max.
Yeah, my name's John.
My name's John. It's a dad joke. It's a dad joke.
And that's a bad one.
It is a bad one. Pause. Return. Sound. Action.
Ruh-roh. Ruh-roh.
Ah,
Ruh-roh. Covered in friggin' dirt, too.
He was so determined.
I forgot.
That is just priceless. Wow. Next time, you'll learn how not to push the wheelbarrow up the hill.
This guy's great.
How to get any girl's attention at a party. Quick glance, smile, look at a friend, take a drink, look away, and bring them back. Flare the nostrils, soften it, bite the lip, harder. The chest, mating call. Look away. Look at your watch. Is that a fly? And we're back. Smolder. Cross-eyed. Hard to get. Bite. Laugh. And gone. Add some mystery. Now baby face. Dance. Slow it down. And peacock. Bigger. She's all yours.
If only it were that easy.
Who made the original one? Is what I want to know.
I don't know, but that's
like the fuck.
Is that you?
Is this the baggie I need?
Why is that thing making
I
noise?
think
Like
it might have been me or you, because it's like your USB is unplugging somewhere. But anyway, next. Oh, do 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 do. Do 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 do. Is this how you're gonna do your Hanukkah tree this year?
Nice. RKO. The top rope. I love it.
Yep. For the top rope. That's pretty good. Okay. I want you to tell me if this logic is sound. Better than anything else?
No.
All right. And action.
Dumbest person to ever play the lottery, and I'll say this right now. This bitch, she shows me her paper and she chose 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, Powerball 66.
Why is that crazy? You can choose any number. Why is it crazy? Why is
the
that crazy?
The odds are all the same though.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
that's
It
what
is.
I'm
The
saying.
odds are- no
That's
matter
what
what
I'm
the
saying.
numbers
And
is.
this
No,
bitch,
for them to be in a sequence, the odds are way greater.
we were almost late to our show. She made me pull over so she could get. Yes, see, I told you.
Yeah.
You're both idiots.
No.
I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah. That's what I do. Yeah, I do.
It doesn't
Every
matter.
time. It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter. It's all the same.
So you think the odds are different if you do random
she thinks
numbers?
She's hacked the lotto, but she's never won.
Have you ever fucking won it?
No.
You've
No.
never won it, man.
I can't believe this is
Yeah,
happening.
yeah.
What do you think?
Randomize your numbers. Diversify your bonds.
Yeah, except wouldn't the odds go up the more times you use the same number?
No.
No?
Dumbest person to
You're gonna say
criticize
no?
someone else playing the lotto. LOL. Yeah, exactly, Eric.
Right. This one.
That's pretty funny. Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee.
Y'all,
Right.
it's a trend going on. Everybody burning Bensalaga. You know what I'm saying? And you know your boy.
What are they burning?
Bensalaga.
Bensalagas.
Bensalaga.
Yep.
That's what I heard.
You know your boy. That's all I wear at Bensalagas, man. That's all I wear at Bensalagas. I even mow the yard in Bensalagas. And guess what came in today?
$22,000 worth of Bensalaga.
Bensalagas. So what
Gonna
should
burn
I
'em
do?
all?
Should I burn them or what? I love it. If I burn them, what I'm gonna wear? So if I
How much are
burn 'em, what
those
I'm gonna wear?
damn shoes?
Wish
So
I
if you
knew.
want me to burn all my Bensalagas,
My
cash
Bensalagas?
out me $5,000. Until then, how they look on me?
5,000.
How they look? Chime in, let me know how I look. I'm about to head to the bar. I'll let your boyfriend.
It looks like your IQ is far lower than what's in your wallet.
Yes, Ed. I think he is mispronouncing Balenciaga.
Bensalaga.
Bensalaga.
Yep.
It's I wear
That's
nothing
exactly
but
what it is.
Bensalaga. I love it. It's Bensalaga.
Bensalaga. It's Bensalaga.
You look
Ugh.
$5,000 stupider. Yeah, that's right. Okay. You
Yep.
sound like an old dad boomer. Pull up your pants.
But that's because you are an old dad boomer.
Okay. 7 spices, cumin, black pepper, salt.
You gotta watch it all the way to the end.
We're making a shish kebabs. Meat steaks. Meat sticks. It's cutting. Tomatoes.
Pomegranate, I guess.
Wow. Chili peppers.
Chilies.
Nice and spicy. You're making like pasta sauce? Meat sauce? That looks delicious already.
And then,
meat
yup.
in the sauce.
And
then cheese. Oh! Oh.
Doesn't that suck?
Oh, I wanted to eat that so bad.
You're like, I wanted to eat it. But you cannot eat it because it's now in fire. I would still pick the meat out and, you know. You ready to see a time traveler?
Sure.
You ready? Okay.
There's no
let me
reflection.
get weed in bowl before
There's
I
no
click.
reflection, by the way.
Does she?
What?
Oh, I am back from future.
What?
He is back from future.
Just walked out like it was nothing. Like, yeah, it just belonged up there.
Yep. Why? That would no work.
Oh.
Here we go. And action.
Yeah, right.
Oh. Wait, I didn't see the end. It froze.
You didn't see the end.
It froze after he flipped.
Oh, why does it freeze at the end? Every time.
He started to flip and it froze. Oh, nice flip. East German judge definitely gets a 9.
The East German one, huh?
Yeah.
Favorite dish. My favorite dish. I like mugs because they're very comfortable in your hand and they hold things that you don't have to touch. So, coffee or hot tea.
What? Favorite dish?
Well, coffee is food
It's a
to
mug.
me. Coffee is life.
My favorite dish is a mug.
Coffee
Yeah,
is
but she
life
said
to me.
mug.
Yes, I know.
Coffee is life. So is this how Savvy Sabs got her bangs?
By the way, that's marriage material right there. That girl.
Is it?
The last one. Yeah.
The mug?
Yeah, the mug.
this
Ladies and
is how
gentlemen,
Savvy
the
got
next
her bangs,
VP. Oh,
everybody.
Dingo. Dingo has it nailed. Yes. Uh-oh. Doobie doobie. It froze.
Did it freeze? Better not have.
Now
Would
we're
it have
going.
restarted?
I don't have sound.
I don't think there is sound.
Oh, she is not happy. You don't need sound for that.
I just love the little. There should be like a sound effect for that. It's kind of like, whip, whip. Like, oh, feels bad.
You see the tear forming at the bottom of the left eye.
I know. I didn't even notice that. There totally is.
Yeah, there is.
Oh. This one's pretty funny.
What's up, shorties?
What did you say?
That's right when it ended. Like, that was a fancy move. No, it just okay.
That's the Jeff Foxworthy
Why?
thing. I'm here to cut her hair, and you're just gonna have to wait. Oh my god. Why?
います應該嘛？
That's probably not a good idea.
一応做乜嘢仔啊？
Look at his lips swelling up. What the fuck is he doing?
Oh my
god! I again want to ask why.
我不敢说。小泡菜。
Yo.
This one just said, what the hell they got going on in Ohio?
Yo.
Why Ohio? I don't get it.
Misty.
So, do you know who this gentleman is?
No.
Do you recognize this guy? So this is KSI. Okay. And he's doing a subathon. He's trying to get 13 million subs. Okay.
Let's go. We did it. We did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Come on, y'all. Come on, 1,000 more. 1,000 more, y'all. 1,000 more, y'all. 1,000 more. 1,000 more, chat. 1,000 more. 1,000 more, y'all. Hey, man, shout out to Susie, man. 1,000 more. Keep subbing, baby. Keep subbing, baby. $13 million, baby. We did it. We did it, bro.
And back down to 8. Back down to 8, back down to 7.
Wait, what?
Like his fucking face. Like that. What the fuck? That's hilarious. They all started unsubbing.
Yep. Well, that's yeah.
Is this an OSHA violation or an ocean violation? If you know what I'm saying.
That looks like that
You know
would
what I'm
not
saying?
be very safe. I would not want to be changing that.
That's fine. I mean, if you tip over, you just like fall in the water, right?
Ugh.
You know? So just think they've already been out and up.
Hope you can swim.
And it looks like it's like tipping over. You know?
Good structural integrity.
This one's just called Christmas cleaning.
Oh. Ew.
Insane.
Ew. Those living behind the picture? Why don't you just take the fucking picture off the wall?
Why don't you just burn the house down?
Well,
like,
yeah.
You know?
Ew.
Is which one's worse? That one or this one?
Oh, bro. Oh. Ooh. I think the first one's worse.
You think the first one's worse?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, this one's great. This is more wife material. Tried what's up, dog, on Foreign Girlfriend Part 2.
Oh, that's not going to go well.
Pass me the up dog.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
No. Can you pass me the up dog?
Who?
Not who.
Asked.
Dude. Okay. You're very cute, but can you pass me the up dog?
What?
Up dog? Can you pass me it?
Do you want me to put my hand in your ass?
No, what?
What? What the hell kind of up dog is she talking about? I don't know no up dog that talks
It's
like
a lot
that.
different than downward dog. You know?
Anthony says bugs are chill. I fucking
You want to see
hate
some
bugs.
rally?
I hate bugs with a passion.
Bugs are chill.
I fucking hate bugs. Oh my god.
Oh, this shit's crazy.
At the jump. Plus.
Sideways.
At the jump.
Like
Slideways, bro. Yeah.
all
That's
four tires off the ground.
That's
like,
World Rally car shit right there.
Ooh.
That's
the
hardcore.
fucking. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a Lancer 3000.
Deja vu. I just been at this place before.
Or a Lancer Evo 3000. That's a sick whip.
You'll find this one funny. What's this one called? Never let them know your next move.
The
that.
fire Pokemon. Oh, that's an interesting lighter.
Yep. We have another haircut one. Oh, this one's so good. Like, we go in here. We go in here. We go around here. Right? We go up here. Okay, we go from this to this.
Oh.
Aren't you so happy?
Oh. Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
That is something.
It's a good look, darling. Getting off the elevator is what this one's called. Like, you got businessman number 1, businessman number 2 with coffee. Like, all 4 things of coffee. Right? We'll skip forward a little bit. Right to when they get down to the first floor. And it's Armageddon. Like, like, what the fuck is going on?
What the hell?
Oh no, he's down. Like,
She's just hanging out in the elevator.
You just closed the door. Like, there's a typhoon happening outside. So, I have a bit of a theme with the next stuff, right? So, every time I say it's cold in Florida, all you North motherfuckers are like, no, you don't know. You don't know.
Well, you don't know.
Right?
Fiorella's experiencing.
Welcome to Russia.
Fiorella's experiencing some.
Welcome to Russia.
Yeah.
Look, it's Fee.
Ice.
Negative 27.
That's Celsius.
Woo!
That's pretty cold.
So, here we go.
Here's an auger.
Here's some more snow shit.
Добываем газ на Черном озере. Надо поджечь.
Oh god.
Ёб твою мать, блядь. Вот это на Черном озере, блядь, я понимаю.
It's a song of ice and fire.
Капец, Газпром, Белпром рулит, блин.
How crazy is that? Like,
В Беларуси своей нафты, газа хватает.
Like that's that's ice
On fire.
and liquid fire.
Yep.
Crazy. How'd that work? Do you have to dig your driveway out?
Yes.
Or do you have someone do that?
I have a guy.
You got a machine?
Sometimes. No, sometimes I got a guy with a plow, and sometimes I do it myself. But
Okay.
right now with my back, I'm not
Okay.
pushing snow for shit.
Okay.
That's Flint water. Yeah, that's right, Yipper.
Just got the fucking snow. Just got it all done.
Yep, dumping right there. Boom! I knew that was happening. I knew that was happening. Boom. That was right at a grumpy old man.
Was it?
Is that the Nord Stream? Jeez.
So
In Russia,
another thing we get
freezer
to
burns
thank
you.
Cops for,
Yeah.
not braking properly on snow.
Ouch.
And it parks itself?
It parks itself into a
Uh-huh.
boat.
Into
and
a
then into
boat?
a truck. And then that truck's gonna go into that truck.
Oh my god.
And that truck's gonna go into that Jeep. And that truck's gonna go down the hill.
Stop. Stop.
Wee.
Stop. Bumper cars.
Fucking cops leaving their brakes not done right. It's just a prank, bro.
What? Hot foot. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a lot of fire. That's a lot of
Right?
fire. I would be
Fucking
really pissed if
Jesus
somebody did that
Christ.
to me.
Right?
After I got over the multiple fucking third-degree burns. Jesus.
I love how it always just doesn't load the last little bit. You know? I wonder what that is. They're going pretty fast.
That's pretty fast. It's about 120 miles an hour.
And wee.
And
that's the part of the video. Just they're on their roof now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least they're sliding.
He didn't have to worry about
Anything.
shitting his pants anyway. Nice. Nice.
Well, we know how we end things.
Oh boy.
Thanks. Let's get to it.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I forgot to put the top on.
Oh shit, what did I do? Oh, grandma's gonna kill me about her Tupperware. What's this one?
How the dinosaurs
This
died?
one's good. How the dinosaurs died.
This is not good. They're not gonna make it. It was actually perfect though.
Oh, how? How to do that?
I think they attached fireworks to like plastic dinosaurs.
Wow.
And then that melted and came back. Here's a good one.
Rocketry, folks.
Wee.
Uh-oh. Boom.
Holy shit.
I think we've done that one before. But that's great.
I
That's
love
great.
that one. Have we done this one before? Probably.
No grenades.
В гранатах производства Зевс, которые к нам приехали. Отличительная особенность этих гранат, они будут очень антуражно смотреться в ваших подсумках.
Goes in the holder.
Oh no, did he pull the
When you
pin?
have it here, you put the lid on. Okay, and there
Для
you
того,
go.
чтобы они сработали, значит, мы отгибаем усики, вытаскиваем.
You pull the pin, and you make sure that the thumb, like your thing, doesn't fly off. Oh shit!
Oh my god!
Вы с ума сошли, что ли?
There was somebody in there.
Victory.
Oh my god!
Like
dude,
that's funny.
That's very funny.
Oh,
Here we
so
go.
this is in Moscow.
Live.
Happened 2 days ago.
Shopping center explosion.
FYI.
Oh my god!
It's like a Hollywood explosion there.
Wow.
Oh, like crazy. But yeah, that's boats, everybody. That's boats.
Go back. There we go. All right. All righty then. So this week, tomorrow, we've got a very special stream for Tara at, I believe it's going to be either 9 or 10 p.m. I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern. She's going to have Ambassador to the UN, Dmitry Polyansky, with Dan Kovalik. They were talking about getting the Mayarovitz kill list website taken down. She has been determined to get that taken down. She interviewed Fina. She's interviewed Mira. She's interviewed several people on that list, including Wyatt Reed and Eva Bartlett and George Eliason and there's too many. Igor Lopotnik. Maria also. So tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Tuesday night, I don't know what we're going to do as far as Crab and Jesse's show, but Class War Consciousness at some point will be happening. Jesse was on Hardlands this week. If you missed that, please go check that out.
Good.
That was so good. I mean, he played a song and then he read Between the Lines, which was an incredible reading of that. And he talked about INN and his show American Tradition, and that was just awesome. And then Wednesday, INN News with Reef and Colin. Don't know if they have any other guests planned, but definitely check out the segments with Sabby last week.
Either. We've been working on them. We've got some ones lined up for future.
Yep.
Ones after Christmas that are going to be real nice.
Lauren's got that secret show that's going on after midnight on Saturday nights. And then, of course, we'll be back here next Sunday night for How Did We Miss That? And again, we'll probably go over the Twitter file stuff. There is still the chance that the railroad guys are going to go on strike on the 13th. I think it's tomorrow. So hopefully, fingers crossed, they decide that they want to do that. We're behind them, whatever they decide to do. We understand that they're taking a tremendous risk, and we're not asking them to do that, blind, and that we don't want to see them lose their jobs, lose their health care, and not be able to feed their families while they're doing that. So they need to be protected if they want to go on strike. They already voted to do so. Now we need to let them do it. And they have the strike funds. They have everything in place to be able to do that. But I think we are... Anything else you want to... Big Mad Crab has a merch shop. We also have a merch shop. So everybody go buy some merch. Go. INN also has a shop. IndieNews.Shop, I believe, is the INN link. You again, go to IndieNews.Network. You can find the shop link. Go to independentleft.media. You can find all my links. And you can go to the shops and you can buy yourself some merch. And we're going to be adding some more stuff there. But thank you again. This is a good show. Appreciate you sticking with me through all the Eliza stuff. I know it was kind of tough material. They got a lot of stuff, and they're still working on getting more. There's still a lot of work to be done, but give her a follow, shout her out, thank her for what she's been doing. She's been doing great stuff. And in the meantime, I'm going to say to question everyone, keep questioning everyone's motivations, everybody, and thank you so much. And I'll see you next week.
Keep listening to what little birds have to tell you. Good night, fam.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking,